Hi there, creators. Today I just want to have a quick look at the Unity job system. It's been around for a little while, but something that takes a bit of a serious look into before you can start implementing it in your own projects. So I've learned some tricks. I want to share those tricks. Okay, so let's have a look at the job system, because the job system in Unity, which is new, it's part of the new DOTS, which is the data-oriented tech stack that Unity has been introducing over the last couple of years. I've been meaning to dedicate some time to understanding this and building something with DOTS, but it's not a small undertaking. So I've done some small experimental things in the past, but now with BattleQuest, it was time, especially with the fact that I'm generating things in the background, generating the level in the background as the player plays. That needed to happen in a background thread. Now in the past I have, so for instance, with assets I've created for controlling Arduinos, using a USB cable and communicating with a FMATA protocol, I've actually built, created my own threads. But the Unity job system provides some better support for general things within Unity. So some of the things I wanted to use was the new native array. I wanted to pre-allocate memory. I want to avoid bashing the garbage collector and keeping away from the heap as much as possible, and leveraging the job system, so eventually I could use the burst compiler and get all these performance improvements at pretty much no cost. Wow, that's not true. It takes a little while to learn the job system. Okay, but it also gives me a good foundation for eventually migrating to the ECS architecture when Unity have made that production ready. So I want to share with you my learnings about the job system, and some of the tricks that you need to keep in mind that the documentation tries to explain but doesn't do such a great job of. Okay, so first of all, we're using Unity collections for the native array and jobs, obviously for the job system. We have here some, the whole idea is to have a map that's generating in the background, like currently generating, to have a map that's ready, right? So it's been generated and now it's ready to be rendered. And then there's the currently rendering map. And that's because in the main thread, it takes a while to take the map and to actually sort of create the game objects that make up that map. So because that has to rotate continuously, it's all about maintaining flow. I need to have in these three different conditions all the time and then rotate between them. Okay, and they're all an array of level item enums, so that's very cheap to keep in memory. Now these are native, so they basically get stored in C++ memory within the Unity player. Okay, so that's terrific. I've got a function which is near the bottom of the class to create these things. You've got three different ways of creating native arrays, and in terms of how you allocate it. Now this is persistent because I want to create these once up front and basically just reuse them for the whole life cycle of the scene. So that I'm using the persistent allocator. I'm allocating basically the full size of what I need for that map, and I'm not bothering with initialization because I need to initialize it to a certain value. Okay, and that was actually part of my testing, so I'm trying to incrementally build up the use of jobs. All right, this is not fully functioning code yet. I've been learning the tricks, and so I just want to share where I'm up to so far. So basically, the first thing I did was in Awake create these arrays, these native arrays, and sort of keep them, and then pre-populate the initial ready array. So the point was that when I get to the start, the very first frame, I can render something. I can start rendering something. So that was the whole idea there. Now, the trick is, one of the first things you learn is you need to somehow dispose of persistent memory somehow. These native arrays need to be disposed. So I found that the onDestroy method is probably one of the best ones. You could have used I looked at onDisable, and I thought onDestroy is probably the better one. And you need to dispose of these before the mono behavior class is going to stop being used. So this is kind of the last moment. Now, because it is the last moment, I was initially trying to generating map status is a job handle, and I was trying to deal with so I instantly found myself facing an exception, and that happened here with the generating map needing to be disposed. I couldn't dispose it until I'd done a complete, and I was trying to do all that within onDestroy. You can't do it. The reason why you can't do it, or this is the logic I'm applying, you can only tell Unity to complete a job in the previous frame, and here I am about to explode, like the whole thing's about to disappear because this is onDestroy. So this is like very last moment. There is no next frame, so I can't complete now to free up the memory for it to then be disposed all in this one place. It just won't happen. So I need to have completed it previously in the update loop. So that's what I've learned. And so, for instance, I have learned that I can take the job handle and I can use the isCompleted property to determine, has it happened in the background? And if it has, then I can use the complete method, right, that call, to then get access to the memory. So if I do that, everything is fine. So that was the main learning that I wanted to share now. So it means that if you're going to have persistent memory like I have, and you're going to use jobs to populate that memory or to manipulate that memory in the background, which is what I'm doing, then before you get to the onDestroy and disposing of that memory, you need to have done a complete on it, and then you have access to that memory. You can write or deallocate that memory from the main thread. So that was the trick. That took me a little bit of stuffing around to find all that out, and so that's why I wanted to share that now. Okay, so if you thought this was vaguely useful and you want to make sure other people get to see it, please gently hit that like button. If you want to see more about BattleQuest as I produce the new content and show you what I finally do with the job system and how I'm using that to in the background generate my scene, right? So that'll be a continuous flowing generation of the scene. Then you should subscribe so that you get to see the next video. Okay, thanks for your time and have a great day.